Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that I give this presentation. I wish I could be physically there. I have attended several of these meetings in the past and found them to be extremely valuable. The ability to meet people from all walks of life has been a total pleasure, and the hospitality extended by the Chinese government and the organizers of this conference has been exceptionally good. I want to address today a very difficult problem we have. We've created an internet. The internet is the basis of our cyber civilization. If it vanished, I think we would be hard pressed to continue the type of world we live in now. Our communications, our abilities to talk to each other, abilities to carry on meetings like this would cease to operate. As the internet is deployed in more and more places, it becomes necessary to realize that it has to be trusted and it has to be secure. That's a goal that must be accomplished if we're to make this the basis of our future civilization. If you look at the internet, it started out as an experiment. It was an attempt to see if we could actually do what we hope to be able to do, to tie together computers that were remote in a coherent economic fashion. When we started, that was just not obvious how to do that. In order to do that, we gathered together a phenomenal set of people who carried on a large research operation using conventional computers, largely conventional communication systems, and certainly conventional standard software. We bolted it together, made interfaces where necessary, and in fact created a very viable system. However, there were interfaces, and those interfaces turned out to be not designed to be secure and trusted. The components we used were not trustable. We don't have computer systems that we can really trust. They can be penetrated, as we see every day. Our software systems collapse periodically. They certainly have had a significant number of problems vis-a-vis security. Our networks are reasonably trustworthy, but in fact, at every interface, there's questions about whether or not it's secure enough. I propose that it's time to actually bite the bullet, if you allow me to use that term. It's time to say, can we design a system which is in fact secure? Let me just reflect for a few minutes on the pieces we have now. We know in principle how to design computer systems, hardware, that can be much more trustable than we have now, than we commercially use now. There have been examples over the years. I just raise those as examples, not saying they're the ones we use. Multex, experiments on the part of IBM, Intel, and others in creating secure computers have been interesting, have not been commercially successful in general because people were not willing to go through the energy of converting. I believe, though, that we can do this using principles developed in systems like that in applications where critical needs are for security and trustworthiness. I don't propose initially to deploy anything to the wide billions of people that currently are using the internet, but there are systems which we need much better security, much better trust in banking, financial, international financial, medical, a whole bunch of things. How do we go about doing that? For over years, we've complained about the lack of systems like that. And we've talked about getting together and doing something about it, but somehow we've never actually done it. And it's not a job that can be done by a small group of people. It requires an international collaboration of the best we have, the best computer scientists, the best hardware designers, more also importantly, the best software designers, and the best communication people. Realize that we're starting a revolution in communications. Speeds have been increasing dramatically. The approach to new communications, quantum computing, quantum networking, et cetera, will revolutionize many things as they develop. I propose that we undertake a serious effort to attack the issue of creating a new generation of trustable, secure systems that can be used to support the increasingly critical infrastructure of our new cyber civilization. I would be happy to join in that activity. I would be happy to advise people in it, but I think it requires an effort that can't be done in one country. It has to be done using the best ideas we have available. The result could be very important. And I hope that I have motivated some people here to think about that. There are many fine points that I have not covered. This was an introductory talk, but I'd be happy to sit down with anybody and help form such a system. Again, I thank you, and I wish that I could have been physically there, maybe next year. And good luck, and thank you very much.